Fantastic. Good evening, my friends. Privyet. I'm still to learn beautiful language that you all speak, but my name is Adriana, as our dear friend Russia has introduced me. I am speaking directly from Davis, California. But wait a minute, do you think I'm in Kazakhstan because of my background? I wish I was. This photo was taken in October 2019 when I had the privilege to visit Kazakhstan. I was in Nur Sultan for a few days visiting Bolasha,